Good evening, everyone. This is the City Council work meeting. Today is June the 16th, 2025, and the time is 6:30. This meeting has been duly advertised in the city newspaper in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act, otherwise known as the Sunshine Law. Roll call, please. He's gonna take it. Roll call, please.
Fablelaro.
Here.
Camona. Barclay.
Yes.
Oglesby.
Present.
Bettis.
Present.
Swepson.
Here.
Thomas.
Here.
Singleton and Tippett.
For the record, Mr. Carmona would not be here this evening. May I have approval of the previous minutes?
I will make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have agenda review. Madam Clerk?
First on the agenda is ordinance number 10, second reading. Public hearing will be held during regular session. It's a bond appropriating $708,333. Therefore, authorizing the issuance of $708,333 for issuance of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's Green Acres loan to finance a portion of costs for item number 0199-12-027, Bayview Avenue Water Park.
Any questions, council? Seeing none?
Resolution 118, authorizing mutual services agreement with Egg Harbor Township to receive services of a construction official.
Any questions?
Question.
Councilman?
Due to the passing of Mr. Jerkins, I know that this is priority discussion. I know this agreement was already discussed, right? So temporary or something.
We still need.
No, I'm saying, so we're gonna have to adjust this agreement to have someone.
No, this is just a shared service within Carver County, Scott. You can still hire your own person.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you need them, or, you know.
It would be good to have in place until we get some.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, council? Madam Clerk?
Resolution 119, authorizing the tax collector to cancel and refund property taxes.
Any questions, council? Seeing none?
Resolution 120, approving the door plenary retail distribution liquor license for the 2025 through 2026 term.
Any questions, council? Seeing none?
Resolution 121, approving the renewal of plenary retail consumption liquor licenses for the 2025 through 2026 term.
Any questions, council? Seeing none?
Resolution 122, authorizing a change order number 1, increasing the price from $1,099,315.62 to $1,126,571.56, which is an increase of 2.50% or $27,265.62 from the original contract amount and final payment to Lexa Concrete Incorporated.
Madam CFO, can you step to the podium? Could you, explain this, please?
Good evening. Yes, this is a change order. I believe is the final. No payment yet has been authorized by our engineers. So this change order represents 2.5% increase of the original contract amount. That was $1,099,315 for an additional 2.5% increase, or $27,265 to the new amount and final amount of $1,126,571.56.
Do we know why they put the change order in?
I had, I can't remember the details of it, madam. I really can't remember the details.
What project?
Go ahead, Councilman.
Can we start looking at maybe making our own policy about these change orders? Because we seem to have an awful lot of them come up. They might go to the lowest bidder, but after
And they
the
raise
change order, they raise it, and now you're not getting the lowest bid. And we've had some that have been in excess of 900,000,
Mhm.
something like, so, like, this is 2.5%. Could we maybe establish if, in the contract that they're all given, that like if you have a change order, you can't change anything up to 1% or 1.25?
That can be suggested, and I will
We have to look into,
confer.
you have to look into the public contracts law, and also I think it probably is governed under UCC. Because anytime you have contracts, a lot of times the Uniform Construction Code is dealing with construction, so it's kind of looking at both of them.
At both the UCC and the procurement law, and especially when projects tend to be older and you start working them with a newer date, you also have those increases because of materials and labor.
Right.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Okay, fine. I want to agree with the councilwoman, but I want to also offer a caution that we cannot place a predetermined cap. Because what we have to enforce is the justification for the change order.
Right.
That's what people do, but to place a predetermined cap will set a precedent that maybe can backfire.
If I may, even though with procurement laws, I believe the max that you can go to is 20%, but of course, this is not the case here, that's a good thing. But we can't be more restrictive than what the statutory.
Right, than the state.
Mhm.
Yeah, so what I was aiming at was, let us set a system that can justify the reason for the change order. I think that will work in our favor.
We can look into that, absolutely.
Thank you.
I guess, any other questions for the CFO?
Yeah, I don't understand why, it does not say in the resolution the purpose of the change order.
Normally, you won't see that language in the change order. You won't see, not in the resolution,
So how do
because
we know
they
what we're
do.
approving?
Well, what I should have
Yes,
done
yes,
was
well-
submit the change.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, I apologize.
Sure, thank you. What should I have done was, attach the change order to the resolution.
Right. So we
So,
can see.
yes.
Give it to me, I can give it.
Okay, I will provide that to,
So, but it does say in there that you, an engineer,
well, that's
agreed to it, so,
correct.
so we're gonna vote on this tonight on your word, and the engineer who's not here.
Well, when
Until we see cost, I gotta see purpose and cost, I'm sorry.
that's fine, sir, that's really, what we hear.
To do that tonight.
What's that?
I was just saying, if you're able to
I can.
bring it back over,
Mhm.
modify the agenda, move it to the end, it's up to you, it's just a suggestion.
Mhm.
If it's just a very short thing, it says, okay, it's gonna take additional 20 hours to fulfill X, Y, Z, or
Yeah,
something
that's
like that.
You have that in your email?
I believe so, yes.
And the work has already been done.
Not to my knowledge, but most likely when they put in, this is my experience here for the 2 change orders since I've been here in Pleasantville, that pretty much, at least with this one, that the work could have been done.
Well, then I have another concern because change orders are pre-approved before they do them. That means they bring it
Well,
to.
one of the things is that, well, you also do the change order before the
Yeah.
final payment is
Yeah, but-
also made. So, I have no problem bringing it over, so,
So we'll just save it to the end?
yes.
Okay.
So you want, at some point, when you open up your regular session, you just wanna make a motion to move this particular item, change the order of the agenda to move this item to the last.
A change order for the change order.
Correct.
Change the order.
Of the
And
change.
change the order of the change order. Go ahead, Joey.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay.
Madam Clerk?
Resolution 123 authorizing a notice to proceed to city engineer to begin the construction of the bike path Decatur to Milan project and contract execution.
Any questions, council?
I can't remember because I did this.
Can I come back to this, because I think I read it, but it didn't make. Yeah, can I ask the question?
Yes.
What is it for? It says notice to proceed with the bid advertised to, are they putting in lights there?
Yes, is that the bike path?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, like.
Yes, and what the notice to proceed does, I'm sorry, I just put my stuff away, but what the notice to proceed on this particular project is we've already had the DOT grant for it,
Right.
and they are anxious to get this up and installed. That's what it is. And the notice to proceed also includes the certification of funds.
And how many lights are there?
That I do not know.
I mean, for $156,000, to me,
It did a great.
yeah, grants don't grow on trees, they're taxpayer-funded money. It just seems like a lot of money for, if it's gonna be 15 lights, that's $10,000 a piece. You know what I mean? Like, I just hope that it is bright and sunny out there at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And it's only from Decatur.
Decatur to Milan.
Right. Yeah, it's by Mino's Pastry Shop to,
Basically, it's gonna light up the
So
back. of the-
this was projects that we required an extension from DOT. The original closure for this project would have expired in October. We requested the 6-month extension to be able to get that project along with other projects with fundings from DOP, from the NJI Banking Fund, and from bond anticipation notes to pay for this. So this project was approved way over a year ago.
I'm not saying I object to it, and I know the money is there, and it's not directed to you.
No,
I want to make sure that for $156,000, we have $156,000 worth of lights there in a 2-block area. That's what I would like to find out. I want to make sure they're there. Are they solar operated? Are they, on our dime for the electric? Who's responsible? Is Public Works responsible for them? That's what, I just want to make sure it's
Sure,
well.
I'll get those questions
Okay.
forward to the engineers. Is there any other questions?
Any other questions for Tanya?
Sorry.
It's
No.
okay.
No.
Okay. So
And these aren't directed at you.
No,
They're
that's
just-
okay. That's fine. We're all collectively working here as a team to be able to execute these projects, and the
Absolutely.
community can see that, we're making progress. So may I be excused for a few minutes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Resolution 124, granting approval to Society Pay for the Colombian Holiday Event, July the 20th, from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Tilton Avenue Ballpark.
Any questions, council? Seeing none?
Resolution 125, granting approval to Our Lady Star of the East for a church cultural festival on August the 22nd to the 24th at 25 West Black Horse Pike.
Any questions, council? Seeing none?
Resolution 126, granting approval to organization Azteca for a Mexican Independence Day Festival on September 13th from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Tilton Avenue Ballpark.
Any questions, council? Seeing none?
Resolution 127, authorizing personnel transactions in the city for June 2025.
Any questions, council? Seeing none?
Resolution 128, adopting the arbitration award regarding Wendy Hines.
Any questions, council?
I sent you, if I may,
Yes.
Council President, so I give so-called attached Exhibit A. When I drafted the resolution and I sent it to Madam Clerk last night, I put Exhibit A, and we can't read each other's minds. I thought she thought Exhibit A were the invoices, but Exhibit A, in my mind, was the ARB award. Apparently, she never received the ARB award. It was sent to me from Mr. Glickman. She didn't get it. I just forwarded it out to you all. So unfortunately, you don't have it here, but if you want an explanation about it, to the extent that I wasn't involved in that part of it, but to the extent that I can give you information, I'll be happy to, and I have the award up at this time.
Yes,
But if you recall, this was many, many years ago, arose out of a collective bargaining agreement and terminology in there whereby the retiree was entitled, and his spouse were entitled to receive these lifelong health insurance benefits. I think it may terminate when she's of the age to get Medicare, which is 65. And I was here in 2023 when some people voted no each time on principle. I wrote an opinion back then when I was asked to come in. I looked at the prior opinion from Cooper Levinson. I looked at the prior arbitrator's award, and I wrote an opinion kind of concurring, like I'm not sure what you could do except change the collective bargaining agreement during your next negotiation. So I know that they were still concerned, and then Mr. Glickman took it, and the arbitrator essentially found that the city violated the collective bargaining agreement. I can give you if you want, we are on the record, it's up to you if you want me to read it.
anyone?
I emailed it to everybody.
Yeah,
We have
Yeah, that's about it.
I'm satisfied with the person.
We have it here, so.
Yeah, we have it.
You all okay?
Yeah.
Right, so you can read in deeper to it later, at your leisure. But that's basically what it is.
We tried.
Next, we have the bill list.
Before you go there though, I wasn't gonna say anything now, but until later, but I'm gonna say it now. Resolution 127. This is about the third time that something's been on the agenda that I didn't know about. Excuse me, I'm told it was on the agenda, or a day before it was on the agenda or something, with more information. And I really, really don't appreciate that. Whoever's fault it is, I don't know. I don't sit in on the agenda, who needs to know. But I just don't think this is a good aesthetics. I'm talking about 127, number 2A. And I asked for that to go out to bid again. And I'm told that.
Bid?
I mean, not to bid, not to be advertised, supposed to be, yeah, that's a job of me. And, that was denied because once it's on the agenda, it's on the agenda. I asked for it to be pulled. And
So whom did you ask if it could be pulled?
I asked, yes, we had a conversation today, the business administrator and I discussed that. I talked to the clerk, she said that once it's on the agenda, that's the end of it. But I just know that.
The solicitor, you got that? I didn't talk to the person. No.
Yes.
So there are nuances to these things. It's not as simple as that. So people have to call me and talk to me directly to get whatever their concerns are. I spoke with the council president today, and she asked me, because I actually did not see this portion only because I spoke in the formatting of this with the clerk so that we could format a consent agenda. I did not realize, quite frankly, that the names were even on here, so I didn't even look at this resolution because it's typically confidential until which time it hits the floor. But that's a work in progress. Be that as it may, the question was posed to me, the process. The process is essentially, look, anything can be pulled, but who chairs the meetings, right? So we look at Robert's Rules of Order, we look at the structure of council, and the council is the body that votes. The council president, and Mayor, you've been a council president, is the one who places things on the agenda. There's all types of ways in which things can occur. It's not my job to secure a win for anybody. It's to really just give you the appropriate legal advice. If the council committee, finance, whomever it is, and goes through the process, decides they want something on the agenda, and that's discussed, and the council president wants it there, no disrespect, but I don't think it's within the mayor's authority to say that it has to be pulled. It's not as cut and dry as once it's on the agenda, it can't come off. I would never say that. I just think that it now rests with council, and council can vote it up, down, and do what they wish with it. So that, without having the conversation with personnel or with you, that's my legal position on this.
And I just wanna add to the record, Mayor, you never once called me
No, I didn't.
about pulling the item or anything like that.
No, I didn't.
So I just wanted to put that on the record.
No, I didn't, and each time that I've ever called you about pulling anything or adding anything, it's never, I mean, at that part of the conversation, we don't have to get into. But as far as this is concerned, it's the aesthetics of it, and it's just something that, I knew there was interviews the day that interviews were taking place, but for seasonal, I'm thinking it was everything was for seasonal help.
If I may.
Before
Okay.
you go. So I just want you to know, and I want to put this on the record, if there's anything that you need, if you want to talk to me about, just call me. Whatever happened in the past, each situation is different. You could call me. That's your job to call me. It's my job to call you, because we had this conversation before, and I would really appreciate it if you did call me, and we could have had that conversation.
And there's several times that I have called you, but the way
But
that this
I'm not
was
talking
done,
about the past, I'm talking
Okay.
about now.
the way that, okay, this incident here, the way that it was done, it's just,
So for the
I don't
record,
want
I
to.
just want to say, I don't know how it was done, because that's none of my business of how and why it was done. But I just know that it's before me now. And it was before me Wednesday, and it was before me on Friday.
oh, so you just found out also? Is that
It
what
was
you're saying?
before me on Wednesday, agenda review.
Because the next,
Friday, we received our agenda. So you had plenty of time to talk to
the
me.
names didn't come out until now. I mean, the names were not, no, there was no, yeah.
No. If I may,
Go ahead, I'm about to look at the,
if I may. First of all, I'd just like to say that, in the mayor's defense, she didn't demand, right, that I believe she asked.
No, you didn't.
And she did ask, if it could be removed. And that's what started the process of finding out exactly what we could do. So thank you for, just giving us, some insight over what us talking about it. But
I don't even know the process prior there too. I mean,
So going back
there
to-
is a process with personnel, right? There's a process with posting this, all that stuff. And frankly, notwithstanding the fact that I am cautioned about giving too much legal advice in public,
Right.
that, we need to have bases for doing things that could look disparate. So, that's why the conversation has to be had between council president, the mayor, the BA, whomever it is, ahead of time, because once it hits, nothing is a done deal. But it's now there, and and to have this type of discussion here, where you're in the work session, you can have it, they're not an employee, but you still have to be cautioned how you interact with people and or their names or whatever it is. So, and this isn't an executive session matter, so,
Discussion.
I had two points. First one, thank you, Solicitor. I ditto, that's my concern, because not employee, but still personal matter. So I had a concern about that. And if there is a reason for your objection to that item, Mayor, we need to know, and that means executive session, or at least some other kind of conversation. I do want to commend Council President and whoever was involved, because this resolution is what I've been asking for clarification with regard to who's being hired, why they're being, when they're being hired, and how much they're being paid, et cetera, as well as the people who are retiring. And the certification that the money's there. Then there's the other issue about the payouts and how we arrive at those numbers is not for here, but I will say I have a serious concern about these golden parachutes, which is an unsustainable financial burden on these taxpayers. So we'll talk about that another time, but I want to get that on the record. So,
Just for a little
Thank you.
clarification, I received my agenda Friday at 6:38, and Mayor, you were CC'd, and the names were there.
Yes, that's what I said
Oh,
earlier.
because I
It
thought you said you
wasn't
just got it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we just got it, when she sent the agendas out every week on Friday. yeah.
Okay. Right. So, where we at?
Bill,
Kenya, Bill?
Yes, okay. So you have, the bill list before you. So on page 1 of the bill list, the very first item is action fire apparatus. That was, an $85,000 grant from the state. And, this is for items that were needed for the fire department regarding their uniform, their full gear, their helmet, their coats, their boots, and they provided a grant for, from the American Rescue Plan of 2024. So that was $85,973.25. Also on page 1, requesting to amend the bill list to remove the growth group. It's the wrong account. I placed there the wrong account number, so I have to fix that. So towards the end, I'll ask for an amendment reduction of the bill list. That's page 1.
That's the group.
Yes, I used the wrong account number. Page 2, third item from the bottom, that's Trinity Code. That's our housing inspectors. And this is for $10,215. Page 3.
when you go to page 2,
Yes.
make sure I'm on the right page. I whole bunch my page. I think it's page 2. Down, fourth item from the bottom of page 2,
Mm-hmm.
Institute of Forensic.
Those are consultant fees that,
Yeah, consulting fee,
yes, that's for the police department.
consulting for what? I know what the word forensic means.
Yes,
And that
it's like,
usually
is
deals
this,
with more evidence. I don't know what you got consulting.
they request this for employees when they have to return to work as well. These are
Is this a contract?
a contract with
Do we have a contract with you?
this institute. I don't know if we have a contract, but it is the institute that's used to do fit for duty exams.
What's
You,
that got to do with forensics?
but that's what they're called. Right.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll find out some other way.
I can research
Yeah.
that for you.
Yeah, I
Can
just,
you just make sure he gets a copy of the invoice too?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on page 3, the second from the bottom, that's sound thinking. That's $102,000, and that is the shot spotter that's put out through the community to detect, fire shots. Anyone has a question on page 3?
Yes, let me just from the AT&T. I thought we discussed something about these wireless accounts. Has any action been taken with them?
Yes, we're doing a full audit on those lines, and we're actually going to get back lines that are not being used.
Okay, now I think we expected some spreadsheet or break.
I'm waiting for that.
Thank you very much.
Some of the lines were for different departments. So you had some lines for code enforcement, some lines were for public works, and some lines for police, and some for fire, and of course some for city. So we're just getting that straightened out as to what funds we want to
Madam President.
Okay.
Sir, we mentioned it several times in council reference to these phones and, or the lines and all that, as Councilman Barclay said. Do you think that we can have an answer to this by our first meeting in July? We've been waiting for that to find out what is this, the service and the phones and all that. Do you think July will be a sufficient amount of time for us, at least, because we mentioned it several times, can we have that?
So right now, you should all, if not, I'll make sure you all get it, but let's email out, a listing of all the phones that had, services but no data use, which means those phones aren't being used, or iPads, or hotspots. The bottom are all the ones that were being used, and next to them were names or positions for those particular ones. So we have that much information that should have been, should have been sent to everybody.
30 days, we should know what's disconnected and what's not.
My issue at this point is that I want to compare with the other carriers to try and put this under one.
Yes, that's what we've been looking for. Thank you, sir. Can you just give us where we at on that? That's
Sure,
big.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
So,
There's a follow.
all right, not a problem.
Any other questions on page 3?
What comes after the first?
I'm sorry?
What comes after the first?
4.
Okay.
All right, page 4. I have vesties. This is the uniforms for the sewer department. It's $1,150.94. Does anybody have a question on items on page 4? Yes.
The first item, we're back at consulting fees again. Do we know what that for Joel Weisblatt?
Yes,
Is
that
that-
was the arbitrator.
No.
Yes.
In the Hines.
So,
Yes.
yes, right, when we lose, you pay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's another one we got to do, John.
Yeah. Arbitrating and consulting.
Any other questions on page 4? All right, page 5. We have refunds of taxes, and that is the 5th item from the bottom, real property acquisition. And this is actually a redemption of a certificate. And we pay them, they pay, the owners pay us, and then we pay that money out to real property acquisition. Any questions on page 5? Okay, so the total bill list amount is $278,985.81, and I would like to amend it for a reduction of $3,454.50 to a new total payout of $275,531.50.
And this due to the brook.
Yes.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Did we, it's not on here, but did we ever get a follow-up to those trash collection things that we discussed at a meeting? Like, one, because we reimburse places that have, and we found out that one place had 3 pickups.
The land.
Thank you. You know, did we ever find out anything about any of those?
I have not, researched it, good.
If I may,
Yes.
answer that question, we did, reach out to, HUA and, the land use, I didn't hear anything back from the land use, but apparently the, the amount of days that the trash was picked up was something that was negotiated between them. So apparently HUA has no idea how much is that they're billing us, so they just pay it and send us the whole bill. And so we're in the process of trying to rectify that and get some totals, so that we can address that with the land use personnel.
Okay. Thank you, thank you.
Once a week.
Go ahead, Councilman.
We will not be paying for 3 pickups a week.
No. We're not.
We will be paying for at least what everybody else pays.
Come on.
But
In the negotiation, to me, that's not a negotiation, that's a done deal.
No, yeah.
But I know you're a very diplomatic fellow, and you like to keep everybody happy. People don't get to be happy when they're stealing your money,
Right.
either through, what do you call it? Openly or covertly or openly. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman? Oh, I'm sorry, can you, listen?
Well,
Yeah,
I just
anything
wanted
else?
to amend the bill list for a reduction to $275,531.50.
Yeah, you
That's removing the bill.
Yeah.
Okay. So then now we go on to items that were paid as we were waiting on our approvals. So if you look at page 1 from the check register, Doran Engineering has been paid up to date for the services, and I don't know if most of you are aware, but he is still there during the transition, and the new engineer there is, I can't remember the last name, Paulestina. So Doran has been paid up to date. Another item that was on the bill list is our payroll of $549,311.22. And that pretty much concludes the check register of items that have been paid. Does anyone have a question?
Seeing none?
Thank you.
Council, do you have anything? Open discussion? All right, may I have a motion to close work session?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Good evening, everyone. This is the city council meeting. Today is June the 16th, 2025, and the time is 7:09. This meeting has been duly advertised in the city newspapers in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act, otherwise known as the Sunshine Law. Please stand for invocation and a flag salute. When we have a moment of silence for the Jerkins family. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to
To
the
the
flag
flag
of
of the United States of America,
and
and
to
to
the
the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I take it back, anyone would like to sign? Sign. Thank you. Yes.
handout.
The back is,
The resolution.
No,
but change it.
no.
I don't know.
That was because she was the wrong county. I wrote it down.
No, the one where the change.
Oh, okay, no.
To move the order of agenda. That was.
Oh, now
Oh, for Alexa.
change.
I'll make a motion to remove that.
Second.
We're not.
Over How about third then?
Roll call, please. Fablelaro,
Here.
Pomona, Barclay,
Present.
Oglesby,
Present.
Bettis,
Present.
Swetson, Thomas,
Present.
6 and a 10.
May I have a motion to dispense previous minutes?
Move. Second.
All in favor? Mayor, you have any accommodations?
I don't think she did.
Next, we have public portion. We have John Boyd. Come on up, Mr. Boyd. How are you?
I'm fine, healthy,
Very
present,
good.
council, mayor, council. Okay, I've, have an issue with, the paving of Collins Avenue. I'm at 19 Collins Avenue.
East?
East.
Yes, on the
I
way.
don't believe there's a west.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a west, but anyhow, when they paved the street, and put the pipes and all that stuff in the ground, I was there because it, they're working right in front of the house. And, before, I don't know if you call it, the supervisor left the street department, I think his name was Anderson. He's retired now. I spoke with him about the street caving in, right at the curb, and the guy that's there now, I'm trying to think his name might be Ronald. Spoke with him, gave him pictures. He's given me the number to the city engineer's office. Talked to them, sent them pictures. So with all of this time is just getting lost. So I'm wondering if something's going to happen or not. The far end of Collins Avenue on the other side of Franklin, they took out trees, put in curbing, aprons for the parking, did all kind of nice stuff. But in the first block, they half-step everything, hardly any curbing, especially in front of my place. And my complaint is that the street is undermined right at the apron, and it's all, I'd say right now, about an inch below, my driveway is about an inch below the street itself. And where they put the pipe in with sewer, it's almost 2 inches, which gives a tripping, what do you call it, a sort of a nuisance. And it's coming to a time when I'm going to, students try to sell my house, they're going to want that fixed. So I spoke to Mr. Barkley during the election, and well, I'm still waiting on something to come back to me to say, well, we're going to just drive by and look at it again, or what? Something.
So, Mr. BA, could you, get, or Madam Clerk, get Mr. Boyd's phone number and just have someone take a look at it?
It's there on the paper.
Your phone number?
Yes.
I want to see,
Address and phone.
yeah. I'll make sure that, Mr. Laws gets this piece of paper, so he can give you a call tomorrow.
It'll be another step. One step at a time, right?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
thanks
you,
for coming. Yes. Mr. Moreno Christian?
Good evening, Council President Thomas,
Good evening.
Council, Mayor, City Administration. Just wanted to bring up an incident we had last week. It's a very hard and uncomfortable conversation. We've talked previously with our mayor, and we're thankful for her support during that time. But the truth of the matter is that last Wednesday, we, as a nonprofit organization, and Pueblo Unido did confirm that ICE was in Pleasantville last week. And so it wasn't the first time. They were here in January at Milan, the apartments there at RPM. And this time they were a block away from one of our schools on Washington Avenue. We have security camera footage from one of our community members that sent us in to us that they were on Abbey Lane behind Washington. And so they were federal agents. We didn't see Pleasantville Police Department with them, nor do we have any reason to believe that Pleasantville PD is collaborating with immigration. But you see how this would create some sort of concern, some sort of confusion, a lot of fear in our communities. And so in the past, we've been doing this work by ourselves, but now we're up here asking for collaboration for help. In the past, we've had no issues doing the work ourselves, but I think this is bigger than all of us. And it's not the first time ICE is in Pleasantville, and it certainly won't be the last time. And so we've worked with some of the churches in the past, Mr. Barclay included, but I think this requires a bigger community conversation with different faith leaders, different police officials, city administrators, to sort of talk to our immigrant community in Pleasantville, that at the very least at the local level, if it is true, that we're with them. Because right now we're seeing a lot of fear, a lot of tension, a lot of confusion. And so I'm up here as the director of Pueblo Unido to say that we do want to collaborate with the city administration, council president, you included, mayor, you as well included, on something a little bit more substantive. It's not just a town hall and that's it. So some of the work that we're doing right now is every other day we are being vigilant, and so we are driving around the streets of Pleasantville and Atlantic City as part of our rapid response efforts. Thankfully this year we do have a little bit of increase of grant funding, so we're opening up our community center space in Atlantic City. We have a new staff member, a new community organizer with us, a young man from Stockton University, and so we do have increased capacity. So we have a 24/7 hour hotline. We are picking up the phone at 5 in the morning to respond to some of these calls. And if you ever want to come out with us, if you ever want to talk to some of our community members that are being affected by this, some of our members have been taken to the Delaney Hall in Newark. Just recently, some of them were transported from Newark to Louisiana after some incidents that happened last week in Delaney Hall. And so all I'm saying is if you ever want to talk to our community members about what's happening in the streets, please, we'd love to collaborate with you. We certainly don't want to, our enemy is much larger at the federal level. So I thank you for letting me go over a few seconds and look forward to our collaborations. Just one note, we have tried sending emails to your Pleasantville emails from our Pueblo Unido account through Gmail. For whatever reason, if it's not a personal account, like a personal email, they keep getting bounced back. So we do send some stuff to like Ms. King, like just all council, and it doesn't seem to be reaching you from our professional emails. Just wanted to say that.
Yes.
Security.
I get it.
Yeah, but send it to me, I'll give you another email.
I tried sending an email to the chief of police, and it wasn't really through.
Yeah.
It bounced back.
Yeah, it will, unfortunately. But I'll
Christian.
Yeah.
Were you speaking up here? Can you talk about your event that is on our agenda?
Yes, so that's still moving forward. I know there's a lot of confusion and fear in the community. It is affecting turnout, but we are hosting in September the annual Mexican Independence Day Festival. So last year, for the first annual one, it was a resounding success in our opinion. We had close to 1,000 attendees throughout the day. It was an 8-hour festival. We had over 20 nonprofit organizations come out and provide resources from different legal, educational, social backgrounds. Our mayor was in attendance. We had a few council folks come out as well. Thank you for your support. But it's all about promoting the culture. It's not to be divisive or anything like that. To say that we're part of the neighborhood. I don't know if you got a chance to visit one of the new restaurants that opened up on Saturday, right here on Decatur, but it's where the old Pop's Chicken used to be. It's a new Mexican restaurant, so it's called Chilaquiles.
You kept that so quiet.
You all know it was a grand opening on Saturday?
No,
I just didn't know about it.
I just didn't have access to y'all, for example. They just didn't know that who the mayor was, for example. But we are in the neighborhood. We are here. We're not going away anytime soon.
That's your restaurant?
No, it's our community members' restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And just to say that it's just part of the culture, right? So Pleasantville is changing in our community for the better. It's becoming more diverse, more Hispanic, more Latino, and with that, we're entrepreneurs, we're hard workers, and so that's what that event is about. To celebrate our culture, not to say.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Christian, Councilwoman,
Can I
has a
ask-
question.
Yes, Councilwoman from the.
Could you, no, it breaks my heart that we even have to think about this and we even have to talk about this.
Yeah.
But can you give us 6 people up here and the mayor and one or two things that we can be, to look for now, so that we, like, we don't have to say, oh, gee, I saw that and I didn't really think of it. What can we do?
So it's part of our, it's called community defense. And so if we ever want to collaborate anything, for example, if we have space in Atlantic City but not in Pleasantville, so one of the things that we're going to be doing is a power of attorney legal clinic, which is called Family Emergency Preparedness, meaning if something happens to the parents, a guardian is in place to be able to pick up their children from school, take them to the doctors, anything like that. It's a power of attorney over their children in worst case scenarios. Know your rights is also something I've talked about with the mayor. We like to do it in culturally appropriate spaces, meaning somewhere close to where our community is, somewhere where they feel a little safer attending. And so we've educated about 500 community members on Know Your Rights. We're going right now restaurant to restaurant in Atlantic City, Ventnor, and Margate to educate the back of house workers on Know Your Rights. It's public setting, so I don't want to say specific restaurants, but some of the bigger names of Atlantic City, we're going there because the truth is our community members are the ones providing that labor. And so if you have any connections with restaurants, we'd love to go educate the staff, not just the kitchen workers, but also the managers, because they could be the defense between immigration and the kitchen workers if they don't have a judicial warrant, right? Between the public spaces and the private spaces. And even yourselves, council folks, we train nonprofits, we also train fellow organizations on Know Your Rights so that their staff is educated. So one of the groups that we're proud to have collaborated with on that was JFS, one of the biggest social service agencies in the Polk County, Jewish Family Services. We trained over 200 of their staff on Know Your Rights. And so some of the stuff is a little legally nuanced or complicated, Councilwoman, but if you have an hour, we'd love to sit with you and kind of walk you through all this information to tell you the difference between a public space, a private space, a mixed space, so that you yourself can also be an ally if you ever see something.
Do you take volunteers for, power of attorney, is that what you said?
Yeah, family preparedness.
Do you take volunteers for that? Does it have to be a friend of the families, or can it be just anyone?
It could be anyone. It's a standard form. We developed our templates using some stuff from the Mexican consulate, as well as the state of New Jersey. So if anyone from council ever wants to volunteer or get trained yourself, we do monthly trainings for volunteers.
Okay.
And so I know some allies outside of this room have done it in the past, and we'd love to train anyone that's interested. So if you have an hour of time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a motion to close the public portion.
Motion.
All in favor? All in favor? Can you have that information?
Yes.
So you have a copy, you just wanna make a motion, or you gonna read it?
I don't have a all I have is just one, the original I was
Okay,
sent
so
to
I guess
her.
when we get to it on the agenda, she can. It's up to you, Dan. You can just read it.
I can.
Well,
So,
not right now, once.
Oh.
We move that to the end.
No, they didn't move it, no, because it doesn't matter now.
Then she's gotta read it. Madam Clerk?
All right, public hearing required, ordinance number 10, a bond appropriating $708,333, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $708,333 for issuance of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's Green Acres Loan to finance a portion of the cost, item number 0199-12-027, the Bayview Avenue Waterfront Park.
Anyone from the public would like to speak for ordinance number 10? Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing? May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? May I have a motion for ordinance number 10?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted. Resolution 118, authorizing a mutual services agreement with Acorn Township to receive services of a construction official.
May I have a motion? May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 119, authorizing the tax collector to cancel and refund property charges.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 120, approving the renewal of plenary retail distribution liquor licenses for the 2025 to 2026 term.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 121, approving the renewal of plenary retail consumption liquor licenses for the 25 to 26 term.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 122, authorizing the change order number 1, increasing the price from $1,099,315.62 to $1,126,571.56, which is an increase of 2.50%, or $27,265.62 from the original contract amount and final payment to Lexa Concrete Incorporated.
Okay.
No, you want a motion first.
Oh, okay, motion. Right, you're right. Motion. May I have a motion?
I'll move it.
May I have a second?
Second.
Questions?
Okay, so this change order is actually for phase 1, Dowdy Road Phase 1. And the increase happens to be in materials and traffic control, based on the estimate that the engineer submitted for the change order. It appears that traffic control was reduced from $50,000 to $15,491. That's a $45,000 reduction. $35,000 reduction. And it looks like there was an increase in hot mix asphalt, 19M64 base course 4-inch thick. It was originally $147,000. It jumped up to $221,820. Then there was an increase, concrete driveway 6-inch thick, reinforced. The original proposal was $34,880, and it increased $16,463. And that's where I see where the, excuse me?
No, go ahead.
So that's where I saw the bigger dollars fluctuate at, so. That's what brought the change order, of $27,265. And I will have a copy of this provided to our Madam Clerk for distribution. But that's where the main increases and decreases were that made this, change order $27,000, 2.5% of the original contract price.
Can I ask?
Absolutely. Ask you first, please.
What was the time period between the first bid of blacktop that went on and the next
Yeah,
bid? What increased?
That I don't know, when this project had started, because this was, I know it's not the appropriate answer you want to hear,
No.
but this was before my time.
No,
So I really don't know when this project had started.
I just, and if I'm wrong, I think that like, part of the issue was that when they put down the original asphalt on it, that after they got it done, they thought they were finished, that I think they had to go back and redo it, right, on
No, I
down,
think it's a settlement phase that they go to.
and then they go
through.
back
That's
and,
what they're doing on Park Avenue.
Yeah, but
and probably what happened with this gentleman.
that much of a difference is a professional question. And I say,
Yeah.
Yeah,
same question,
absolutely.
I had the same question. The time frame from the original bid to the cost when they actually did the job. If we can find that out, just for curious, and I want to know whose driveway they did 6 inches, but heavy duty. That person must have an
And this is a question I
80-ton
will,
truck. Okay, but, thank you.
And no, and it's, once again, it's not targeted to you.
No, it's not.
no, it's not,
You're
no,
just
it's
the
not.
answer person.
I just
Even
like,
if you were here, we wouldn't expect you to necessarily.
no, thank you, I appreciate that, but, yeah, it's, I'll get this from our engineers, that you want it from the start date to basically now, it's like the end.
Yeah, part of that justification, they should have put in the advise us of the date, and you of the date also. Because you're the gatekeeper,
Mhm.
you're the VA, you're the gatekeeper on this stuff, you know.
Because it's really a $62,000 increase, because they decreased the police presence by 35,000. So you still had that 35,000 plus this 27. So that's $62,000.
Right. Good point.
And then, you have the concrete, what was that? Let me see. Is that the driveway I said? Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it says on here.
Driveway,
Yeah.
too bad.
So I will get that answer for you, hopefully that it'll go with the distribution of this information.
Any other questions, council?
Thank you very much.
Roll call? Thank you.
Fablelaro,
No.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 123, authorizing the notice to proceed to the city engineer to begin the construction of the bike path Decatur to Milan project and contract execution.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 124, granting approval to Society Page for the Colombian holiday event on July 20th.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 125, granting approval to Our Lady Star of the East for a church cultural festival on August 22nd to the 24th.
May I have a motion? May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 126, granting approval to organization Atica for a Mexican Independence Festival Day on September 13th.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby.
Yes.
Bettis. Swepson.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 127, authorizing personnel transactions in the city for June 2025.
I believe this is the item that we want to go into executive
Still
session.
Well, you wanna go into executive session because you have current employees on this that could be discussed, if that's what you wanna do.
Yes.
So you'll need a motion for executive session to discuss personnel matters.
It's only one,
Well,
can we wait, we'll wait till the
I
end?
don't think we had no executive session.
I don't think we have to go executive session. I don't see it.
well, it's up to you guys, I don't know. It's what, it's, you move it however you want.
Make sure individuals leave.
The bench complaint was about the last minute
Just-
notice.
And not, yeah, and I wanted to go back, you know, to reapply. There was more to it than that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Catherine.
Why? Well, now that begs the question, why? Because now we gotta go into this process. Because I want to, I'm gonna want to know why. And if that question answered, we're gonna have to go through the process. So maybe we need to
We're
go
going
to
to
executive.
executive
I'll move that we go to executive session.
Yeah, can we,
You want to say it to them?
yes, can we say it to
Just
the
make a motion to, yeah.
May I have a motion to move
To
the
move item
agenda?
number 127 to the end of the agenda.
May I have that motion?
Motion.
May I have a second? All in favor? Aye.
With that being said, we're moving to resolution 128.
Yes.
Is adopting arbitration award regarding Wendy Hines.
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Abstain.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby.
Yeah.
Bettis.
I'm gonna abstain too.
Swepson.
Yes.
We got it.
Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, we have four, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 yeses and 2 abstain, it's approved. Next is
Bill list. May I have a motion for
Motion.
bill list? May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
sorry, second.
I did.
Okay, thank you.
That doesn't help you, does it?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson, Thomas.
Yes.
Motion approved. I need a motion to approve the bingo and raffle license.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Fablelaro,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis, Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Motion approved. Next is a motion to go into executive session.
For the
Motion.
purposes of discussing personnel set forth on resolution 127.
Alright, we want to go into executive session. For those who want to stay, just stay, but we have one item up for discussion. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Go into executive session. Second, Mr. Bettis. All in favor? Aye.
Yeah, that's a good idea. They do that.
Yeah.
Play some John Snow when he got killed on the wall.
You already, bro. Next thing
That's my favorite ship, man. It went off.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Game of
You
Thrones.
get the T-bone.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
So,
You're gonna call roll.
We got it.
we need to do resolution 127.
We was moved.
It was
Moved
moved, but
the
we
second,
did,
and then we went to executive.
we didn't do it.
No.
Oh, didn't
We have a motion, we need a motion.
Yes.
Wait, now?
You went right into executive session.
Yes.
And now you're out of executive session.
Correct.
And now you need a motion to
A
move on
motion
this.
for,
And let me just say this, so that there's not a whole bunch of, there shouldn't be any confusion, it speaks for itself. But since this is the first time you're doing a full consent agenda, the way, even though it's 127, council, you have the right to individually say item number 3, yes, item number 1, no, whatever it is, it won't defeat, it's still one thing, it's just that your vote still counts, so that you don't feel like you're lumped in to just voting for or against the entire 127. You could say with the exception of, kind of like what you do with the bill list, right? You know.
For the next meeting.
Not this one.
No,
you can do, it's just like this, but
Yeah,
they can
just like-
say.
No, but I'm saying next time, this time, just vote it.
You don't have to.
No, but I was on
The score sheet, you don't have a score sheet for that.
Oh, it was a joke, it was a joke.
He's
Okay,
like,
so
yeah,
then
we
on,
did that before,
next
right?
time you can execute, you can exercise your right.
Go right to.
The right to object?
we have a motion for, resolution 127.
Which is authorizing personnel transactions in the city for 2025.
May I have a motion? May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Familar,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Bettis,
Yes.
Swepson,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Next is comments from mayor and councilors.
Mayor, you have anything?
Yeah, everyone have a good night. Come out.
Anything from council?
I do.
Councilwoman?
One is my condolences to the Jerkins family. I was pleased that I got to speak to Mr. Jerkins on Monday, a week ago. And it was a great conversation, we laughed and everything. So I'm just personally happy that I was able to speak with him. On a much different note, the Hurricanes, the girls softball team has moved up to the championship game, and it will be held at, I think it's Friday at 6 o'clock at Shark Park in Brigantine, which is on 25th and 26th Street on Brigantine Avenue. So they've really done a great job, these kids this year.
The 8U is tonight, I think.
Is it
I
tonight?
think they're 8U.
Okay. It's just been a pleasure to watch. It's just, they do an excellent job, and it's something we can be happy about. So, if you can go out and cheer them on, go cheer them on.
Anyone else?
Yes, I too would like to express sad loss of Paul Jerkins, a lifelong friend of mine. I saw him on Monday also, and he was talking about how he felt, said he felt good, and he was getting ready to come back to work. It was just a shock to hear that. Paul and Kathy and the whole family, the whole Freddie and it's just a sad thing. So sad.
It's really gonna be nice.
I know that the city sends letters of condolence, but if there's something special that the city can do, I hope that I will be able to live in the service and I won't be away. All this.
Anyone else?
I do have one other thing. With regard to the payout, the payout for our employees, the amount of, the payout in the overtime and sick time. I've been asking if it's in the contract that we pay them at the rate they retire, rather than the rate that they earn the time. I think that we had put that in the contract many years ago, and I don't know,
It's not payment.
it's been negotiated out, perhaps we can negotiate
Back then.
back in where,
Well, Councilman, you can bring this up in my
yeah,
committee.
okay.
Finance. Okay.
That was my concern with that resolution. I'll read it up ready.
Okay. Anyone else?
I do want to say, Councilman Bettis,
Yes.
we have been talking about doing something for,
Go ahead.
Mr. Jerkins. Because they, he meant a lot to our city,
Oh,
an
yeah.
awful lot to our city. So I've been a personal friend. Well, not, I knew his wife for so long. I've known his wife for a long, long time, and just,
I knew when she was a little girl,
yeah.
I think I knew when she got here.
I have a flyer here. It's for Storybook Land, Friday, June the 27th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a free event for children 10 and under. You just have to live in the counties of Atlantic and Cape May. And they also giving you free admission and a ticket for free lunch. So once again, that's Friday,
I'm sorry.
June the 27th.
I'm
From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the ages that are, it says children 10 and under are free. Which I think is a nice event.
That's big.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be back. I know I won't be there.
It's $40 to get in there, isn't it?
It is that much
Is it
now?
$40? Someone was saying not to go there.
Councilman has something. You have something?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to commend the police department. I got hit and run on the election day, and 2 officers arrived. They were highly intelligent. One young boy, he was, I think, Ali, something like that. And in a couple of days, the police text me. They caught the driver. So I just want to commend them for that. They did a great job because the fellow hit me and he ran away.
It's definitely hitting well.
But I was so impressed when the police department texted me back. We got the person, we got his number, we got his name, and you will get in the report. And I just want to mention that here.
Great job, police department.
Thank you, Andre.
Here.
May I have a motion? May I have a motion to close?
Second.
All in favor?